Volkswagen and Toyota have no Tesla killers. None. Zero, nada, zilch. In fact, they have no killers of anyone or anything right now. If I was an investor in either of those companies, I would be selling my stake immediately. I wouldn't care what losses I had to take. I'd be dumping that stock like the biggest number two you've ever seen. I'm serious. It's trash. Seriously, it's the next Kodak. Both of them are doomed for failure. When I say failure, sure, they might be around in a decade, but they'll be a shell of what they are today. They'll be in the next Kodak, the next Nokia, the next Motorola, you name it, they'll be it. Whatever the case may be, neither of them plan to succeed. They plan to fail. And here is why. Volkswagen and Toyota have both basically shared their electric vehicle strategies within the past month. And if you were paying attention, you would realize that the myth the media have created is exactly that. It's a myth. The media keeps on telling us the Tesla killers are coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming, and Tesla are going to be decimated. That's what they keep on saying. In fact, many of the pundits, Seeking Alpha, all these kinds of clowns, keep repeating the same information. But there's no actual facts behind the information they keep repeating. But there are some facts behind the truth. And the truth is very different to what you and many others may be thinking or may be claiming. Volkswagen and Toyota strategies are very different to what the media says. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers and welcome back everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you. 2023 is going to be an amazing year. It's going to be even better than 2022. EVs will rise in sales significantly, but the sales increase will not come from where people are claiming it will come from. It will not come from Toyota. They have no plans to mass manufacture EVs in 2023, and even if they did have plans to do so, it'd be like trying to harvest a bunch of fruit from trees that don't exist yet, right? If you want to build an orchard out, you can't just plant a bunch of trees and expect fruit to grow within a month. It doesn't work that way, does it? We all know that now. We've learned the hard way that all these claims from Legacy Auto are just that, claims. Unless they're actually delivering the vehicles themselves, they're nothing more than talk. Now, the point is that I'm getting to here. Toyota have outlined their EV strategy and it's basically non-existent. They've now said they're going to change their strategy because no one's happy with it. And they realize now that the population want EVs. Although that said, the CEO did just say he believes the silent majority do not want electric cars. That's exactly what he said. The silent majority do not want electric cars. Now, Toyota revealed 21 different electric vehicles. And it quietly did that without telling anyone. For some reason, the media didn't even bother to ask the question, are these actual production models? Will you make these? Well, no, none of them are. All of them are simply cars like what you see from those shonky wonky startups trying to get your money, trying to get you to invest in this new greatest EV company. They're simply concepts. None of them have been confirmed to go into production at any point over the next 5 years. It was all just a big hype show. Now, a lot of people criticize Tesla and Elon Musk when they bring out a new model like the Cybertruck. But Tesla haven't brought out a model they don't intend to produce. They've confirmed that. Yes, it's taken a long time for vehicles like the Roadster to ever exist, and it doesn't exist yet. But it will. That's the point. Toyota released 21 vehicles, of which we have no idea whether or not they will ever exist in the next decade, in the next century. They haven't confirmed. There's no information of any kind. And considering the fact that the CEO doesn't support EVs and believes the silent majority doesn't either, I think it's pretty clear what's going to happen at Toyota. They don't have any current plans to mass produce EVs within the next 5 years. They don't have a platform that is price competitive. And they don't have the ability to produce millions of EVs. They simply do not. In fact, they claim they'll produce about 1.5 million EVs in 2030. That's about 15% of their current production. Yeah, clearly you can see that the Toyota killer EV is not coming anytime soon. Now, the thing is, The other biggest car company in the world is Volkswagen. Between the two of them, they have about 19 million car sales per year in a total market of around 75 million. Clearly, these two make up the lion's share when it comes to automotive production. And they should be the ones who would take sales away from Tesla, you would think. So what about Volkswagen? What are their plans? Well, they've just revealed them within the last few days and nobody actually seemed to notice. Volkswagen have said that their plans for EVs is that they'll sell more EVs than internal combustion engine vehicles in the year 2028. And that was actually from a Volkswagen Group post on their LinkedIn page. The German car maker currently has no EVs here in Australia, or in many countries around the world it doesn't have them at all because it doesn't produce enough EVs to meet demand in Europe, so therefore it's not bothering with other countries, such as Australia, New Zealand, smaller countries. Now, from 2024, Volkswagen plans to add the ID3 hatch in a midlife updated form. It's bringing out a new version of the ID3. By the way, the pictures you've seen of that vehicle are obviously not real. It doesn't have 28-inch wheels. It'll have normal sized wheels. But anyhow, these are the concepts that we've seen so far. Volkswagen have said that globally they'll introduce 10 new electric vehicles by 2026. But actual sales volumes, they haven't made any comments on at all. Of combustion-powered vehicles in 2033 in Europe, but they will continue to produce internal combustion engine vehicles beyond that year in other countries around the world. Volkswagen also revealed that they don't plan on having an electric ute or pickup truck within the next 3 years. So we pretty much know within the next 3 years, Volkswagen aren't going to be producing millions of electric cars. That's for sure. Maybe they'll make, 1 million by 2028, maybe 2 million, in my opinion. I mean, Volkswagen are basically suggesting they might hit 4 million by 2028. So it's going to take them around 5 years or more to be building a maximum of 4 million EVs per year. Toyota, on the other hand, might be doing 1 million if they're still in business, maybe 1 million by that year. Now, the global car market is around 75 million vehicles per year. And the thing is, the global car market is mostly made up of 3 key regions. North America, meaning the United States and Canada. We're looking at a vehicle market of around 17 million per year. China with a vehicle market of around 27 million per year. And Europe at around 15 or 16 million per year. That's the majority of the global car market. However, some states, Canada, and California and Washington are saying that EVs are the only vehicle you'll be able to sell after 2030. Europe has banned the sales of any vehicle except EVs after 2035. But they've also said manufacturers can only sell a percentage of gasoline-powered cars by the year 2030, making it harder to sell them then. China, the same scenario, but China is moving towards EVs at an incredibly fast rate. They'll hit about 90% electrification within the next 5 years. Therefore, the addressable market for electric car sales by the year 2028 should be approximately 50 million. And considering the current technological advances we've seen, including those of sodium batteries, EVs will be significantly cheaper to buy by 2028. What does that mean? Well, if you want to, you'll be able to get an EV for less money than a gasoline-powered car because it'll have either a lithium iron phosphate battery or a sodium battery. Those will come in the more affordable vehicles. Maybe like luxury vehicles might have solid-state batteries by then. It won't really be a relevant market. And then we'll see more manganese-based chemistries, nickel-based chemistries in the higher spec model vehicles. Ranges will be more than internal combustion engine vehicles. We've already nearly hit that point. The average range right now for a gasoline-powered vehicle worldwide is around 350 miles, right? We are very close to hitting that in EVs. We will most certainly hit that within the next 4 or 5 years. All of this comes down to one thing. By 2028, the majority of vehicle sales worldwide will not be gasoline. They will be electric. The world's 2 biggest car manufacturers will not play a significant part in that puzzle. I've just explained why that is. They don't plan to. They're not even plans in place to do so. So how can they do that? It's not feasible. I mean, best case scenario for Volkswagen we're looking at 4 million sales a year. That's out of a worldwide car market of 50 million EV sales. 50 million. They're going to sell 4 million. That's a very small percentage. Toyota, 1 million. In other words, the two biggest car manufacturers in the world, maybe, best case scenario, will sell 5 million EVs, or 10% of all car sales in the year 2028. Now, what does that mean for companies like Tesla? It means they have a market of 45 million to go after. Realistically, do Toyota have a Tesla killer? Will they have one in the next 5 years? Seems extremely unlikely when you consider the fact that right now they do not make a profit selling electric cars. They don't. Ford don't. General Motors don't. None of these big players do. The only companies that are really taking ramping up electrification seriously right now are Tesla and BYD, to a lesser extent, Ford and General Motors. Personally, I believe the manufacturers most at risk of bankruptcy within the next decade are not American manufacturers. They are Japanese manufacturers and European manufacturers. Europe is ripe for the plucking. China knows it. Where do you think China's sending all their EVs? Are they sending them to America? Nope. They're sending them to Europe. They're sending them to Australia. They're sending them to Southeast Asian countries. They're going after the easy hanging fruit. Europe is an easy hanging fruit. Volkswagen is an easy target for Chinese electric car manufacturers. And guess what? Do you think BYD wants to crush Volkswagen? Hell yeah, they do. Do you think Geely wants to crush Toyota and Volkswagen? Hell yeah, they do. Do you think the Chinese government wants to crush Germany? Hell freaking yeah, they do. Do you think they're in a position to do so? Yes, they most certainly are. They own the means to production. Does Volkswagen own the means to produce EVs? At a small number? Yes. At an expensive price? Yes. Volkswagen's cost and their efficiency in terms of electric vehicle production is horrendous in comparison to China's. That is an incontrovertible fact. You cannot change that fact. It will not change because Volkswagen isn't planning. It isn't planning to sell Chinese-made EVs in Europe. It's not planning to sell them in the US. It's not planning to sell them anywhere, right? So it's going to have a very hard time of competing with Chinese EVs, of competing with the MG4, of competing with the BYD EA1, of competing with the new Tesla Model 2 when that arrives, of competing with the Aura Good Cat, of competing with, I'm going to go on, I'll bore you to death, but the point is here. The means of production have moved largely from the West when it comes to EV manufacture to China and to Tesla. There's no car companies coming to crush Tesla other than China. But remember, Tesla manufactures millions, and it will manufacture millions of EVs in China within the next few years. It's planning on doubling the size of its gigafactory in Shanghai and is planning on reducing the cost of its vehicles. In fact, it's obsessed with doing that. Are other car companies? Maybe, but they haven't told us yet. If they plan to do so, one would think they would have let us in on these plans. Therefore, the media is constantly lying to you. There are no firm plans in place, actual numbers and facts to show that any Tesla killers are coming any time soon. Yes, BYD makes some impressive EVs. I own one. But sorry to say, my friends, Tesla's vehicles are significantly better in one key way that journalists are not telling you. But I'll be telling you what that is very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.